Well, I had a feeling maybe something was brewing, and I want to report this is literally breaking right now. Absolutely. Yeah, I'm going live at 1 Eastern. I'm quickly doing this video before I have to go live, so make sure you check out the live stream. We'll have more details there at 1 Eastern. But the Daily Wire CEO is out. Jeremy Boring gone from the Daily Wire. This is after losing big talent like Candace Owens and Brett Cooper over the past several months. Now, there's going to be a lot of speculation as to why this is, because CEOs generally don't just step down unless there's a big controversy about to break or there's some sort of health issue. Jeremy Boring is very clearly, seemed to like his role at the Daily Wire. And it's actually pretty bonkers that he's stepping down. Obviously, I hope there's no, controversy. He's just going on to do something else. I've had, obviously, most of my disagreements with Jeremy Boring, but, I don't know. This is probably related to the company's pretty, rough patch over the past couple of days or years. Let's take a look at the news and the reaction. By the way, huge shout out to everyone who's helping us build a new studio. You can do so by picking up a meme-tastic mega mixology cookbook like we've done with the tailgates for Trump before, with like Nancy Pelosi's gin-soaked drizzle cake and Joe Biden's You Ain't Black chocolate chip. All sorts of delicious recipes. These are all drink-focused, not all booze. There's mocktails, cocktails. Quartering.com/shop. It wouldn't be a video about the Daily Wire if I didn't get a chance to shill. I need to sell about 5,000 of these to complete the new studio. So hopefully you'll hop on over and you'll pre-order it. We also have the Tailgates for Trump version available too. I'm hoping to have a new studio by fall. A new chapter, he simply tweets. And there's not a lot going on here with it. It's just he just tweets us out. But people are pointing out, this is what happens if viewership drastically falls under your leadership. No, Jeremy, I hope this doesn't hurt the Daily Wire. I can't help but feel like this is a mistake. Let's look at the actual official release, see what the official reasons are. Jeremy Boring, co-founder of the Daily Wire, stepping down after his role, or from his role as co-CEO, to focus on, quote, creative projects for the company. He's told staff in a memo obtained by Axios on Tuesday. Why it matters. Boring has been with the Daily Wire since its inception in 2015. He helped grow the outlet from a tiny new startup with $4.7 million in seed funding. Wow, I could use some seed funding. What's it take to what's a brother got to do to get some seed funding? Especially to the tune of how much? $5 million. That's even more hilarious than Trump's small loan of $1 million. The company's now valued north of $1 billion, which is crazy. Caleb Robinson, the company's founding CEO, will become the company's full-time CEO effective immediately. Robinson and Boring have been co-CEOs since 2019. In a note to the staff, Boring said that he will, quote, remain with the company in an advisory role. He will continue to host the Daily Wire Backstage, the company's monthly show featuring Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, Michael Knowles, and Andrew Klavan. He will now focus full-time on creative projects, including the completion of the Daily Wire's TV series, The Pendragon Cycle, which he serves as director and executive producer. Boring has led the Daily Wire's commercial expansion over the past decade. Most notably, he has overseen the creation of Daily Wire Plus, the subscription service, and BentKey, the subscription streaming service for kids. He also helped build out the company's e-commerce business into a multi-million-dollar. I mean, his accomplishments you can't take away from him. And here you see Robinson and Shapiro plan to continue to grow in 2025. The Daily Wire is looking to possibly partner with a larger company or raise significant round of capital in the next year to meet his growth ambitions, its CEO Jeremy Boring told Axios, which is wild because I thought they were worth $1 billion. The company's commercial success, would they get a deal? Asked about a deal with Fox, Boring said that Jeremy or the company isn't actively looking for a buyer, but we're not closed off to an offer. Well, nobody is. The Nashville-based company was on track to surpass $200 million in revenue this year, would come with a hefty price tag. Daily Wire raised an undisclosed amount of capital in 2023 at a valuation well north of $1 billion. The firm was initially funded by Republican fracking billionaire, the Wilkes brother, Ferris Wilkes, but until its latest raise, it relied mostly on the profits of its fuel to growth. It'll be interesting to see. This does seem to be somewhat, I will say they did kind of come out of the gate pretty hot with, the movies. They had like 4 or 5 movies come out pretty quick. And then it really seemed to slow down, in particular with their children's programming. They did just have Matt Walsh's Am I Racist come out that I thought was a pretty significant commercial success. Now, people are going to ascribe all sorts of reasons to why they think that this might be the case, why he might have stepped down. I don't know. It's he's not offering any real explanation. And I do think that in general, you look at usually when CEOs step down, it's not by choice. I'm just gonna be very clear about that. I'm not saying there's some sort of huge scandal going on, but it does seem like the Daily Wire has been treading water for a while. It seems like perhaps they spread themselves too thin with bent key and everything else. And also it's possible that, they're looking into what exactly the future is with entertainment. I don't know if Jeremy Boring was directly behind or, the cause of people like Brett Cooper leaving, but let's not forget he had a pretty public feud with Brett Cooper saying that she hasn't defended other people on the show. The Daily Wire has lost probably 50% of their shows and 60% of their viewership. Matt Walsh is still very popular. Ben Shapiro is less popular now, but still obviously a huge draw. Candace was a rising star. They lost her. And Brett Cooper was probably their biggest rising star, and they lost her. And both of those happened in the last, month or so. When you look at Twitter's reaction, they don't seem all that surprised. Jeremy Boring has resigned as CEO of the Daily Wire. The company's rapidly declined since losing Candace Owens and Brett Cooper. Maybe new leadership will stop censoring the hosts if they disagree with Ben Shapiro. I mean, it's possible. But a guy that calls himself God King probably does not step down as CEO willingly. Does that make sense? They say, I hope he'll when they say they'll stay on an advisory role, that probably means he's just staying on to finish up a couple of the projects that he wants to put his name on. I don't know what he's really going to be. He's going to stay on to host backstage. Well, who cares? That's like their least watched show. So I don't really know what's going on here. To focus on creative projects. Maybe he wants to go off and do his own thing. Maybe he wants to do more Hollywood stuff and he doesn't want to run a conservative media company anymore. I don't know. It's pretty odd. Not a good sign. Who's going to take the helm? Step down altogether. Can't stand for that dude. I'm a Daily Wire subscriber. I don't know what the inner workings are, the gossip is, but if he really is the reason both Candace and Brett left, he should be fired. I mean, perhaps, people online are going to speculate that this is related. Boring is a co-founder of Daily Wire, is stepping down from his role as CEO to focus on creative projects. He told the staff in a memo obtained by Axios. It's not it's not common that a CEO is going to willingly step down. I'm just going to put it that way. This is what happens when you ostracize star employees and viewership drastically falls into your leadership. His recent moral grandstanding was absurd. I mean, yeah. It's I don't know. Is he being serious about, focusing on television shows and their movies? It's possible. It's very possible that he's serious about that. But there's a lot of ill will towards the Daily Wire right now. I still think Matt Walsh does incredible work. And I'm not saying, like, I'm just not very familiar with Klavan. I like Michael Knowles. I think Ben Shapiro is not America First, but I'm not going to deny his popularity and his draw. Losing Candace, losing Brett Cooper, if that was related, that would probably be the reason for him stepping down. That's my guess. I can't know that for sure. We're obviously going to have to find out. I mean, who can forget him doing this?
Most the entire time that there's been the comment section, not from the very earliest days, but almost the entire time, 2 years, has been the producer of the show, has helped to write the show every single day, 2 episodes a day, and has been Brett's best friend. And so, some of the accusations against Reagan have been really ugly, like that she's impersonating Brett. Well, that's unfair. If Reagan seems a bit like Brett, it's because she's Brett's best friend and one of the writers and the producer of the show. She's worked as much on the show every day on what the show would look like and feel like and sound like as Brett has for these last 2 years. They've done that together. Obviously, they have a lot in common in terms of their delivery because they have helped craft the show together. Some of the rumors I saw that we sent Reagan to acting lessons to make her more like Brett, that's absolutely absurd and deeply offensive. Reagan's enormously talented. She's been an enormous part of building the comment section for the last 2 years. And I've never sent her to an acting lesson. She's never asked me to send her to an acting lesson. I've never asked her to do anything to be more like Brett. If anything, we've told her make the show as much your own as you can while maintaining the format. But
let's also not forget their bizarre get your email list for Derek Chauvin. Perhaps it's related to that scandal. I don't know. Remember when they're like, everyone give me your email address so together we can pardon Derek Chauvin, even though Trump couldn't pardon Derek Chauvin. But it was revealed to just be a scam to collect email addresses. So I don't know if there's scandal going to come out, if we're going to find out more about this. But we're going to have to stay tuned. Make sure to leave a like on this video. Make sure you go pick up Mega Mixology or pre-order it. It'll be shipping late April. Help support the show. Link in the description. We'll talk to you again real soon.